but that's what I would do, because I've been there, I've done that, and I've gotten through it. And I know everybody else will too, because it's really, in the course of history, this is not the worst thing that's ever happened, and other people got through worse.
So how do we really help people right now? How do we really, if I put 100 people in a room downstairs, okay, and said, right, Craig's coming to talk to you, sit down, get your notepads out, okay, I know you're worried, I know you're scared, but he's here, okay, listen to what he's got to say. What would you say?
So this is it. So I have a similar situation. I went through a similar situation. I know the frustration people are going through. So in 2002, I lost my job, and that was when I had that falling out, and it was a real severe blow, because I put a lot of my identity into that job, which was a huge mistake. And so I know what it's like to wake up and know that you should be looking for a job, but have not a lot of motivation. I was taking a nap within 2 hours of getting up, and so here are the things that got me through it, and that I would, especially knowing, like, if things went really bad for me now, I would do the same. Is one, the morning routine is just as important now as it is when you are a high performer and running a business or working for somebody, or, whatever. You can't lose that morning, because in the morning we have the greatest discipline, willpower, and intention. So if we then slide into staying up late at night, self-medicating with television, Netflix, whatever it is, and foods and alcohol, then we're going to get up late. And if you get up late, you're not going to have the motivation to move forward on anything. And you're really just going to be checking until, when's it, 7 o'clock for dinner, so that I can then go into the Netflix again and, escape from the world. So we must stick to as much of a regimented schedule as possible. Please do that. So then the second thing, the thing that got me through it, was my network. And it was in two ways. So I was lucky, but that by that time, through my email newsletter that I had started in 1999, I had built up a really great reputation in the industry and a lot of contacts. So I was able to connect with a lot of people and find my next opportunity. So this is where you have to mine your database of contacts, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn. You have to go through, and you don't just go and ask for stuff. You have to add value to them, which fortunately I had been doing, building up what one of my friends and business partners calls the Goodwill bank account. And this is much like the real bank account that we all should have been building during the good times. Hopefully we did, so that we can ride the storm out. But same with a Goodwill bank account. You got to build that in good times. And the Goodwill bank account is where you have done so many good things for other people, that when it's time for you to ask for a favor, that you don't feel guilty about it, that you don't become indebted to somebody, that people are glad and willing to help you. Now, of course, that may or may not be something you can tap into right now, and it might be easy for me to say, well, yeah, but I don't, say, hey, go and ask for a favor, and other people listening, well, I don't really have anybody to tap into, because, for whatever reason, I didn't build that up. But if you have the chance now, start building it for the next time when you may need it. And the Goodwill, like, one good thing to watch is the Dream 100 video on YouTube by Russell Brunson. He talks about it in his book, Traffic Secrets, but you can just go and type in Dream 100, and there's a clip from one of his affiliate summits where he just walks through this. And we do this in our business. And the Dream 100 is you come up with 100 people that you want to connect with, and then you go and figure out a way you can add value to them, and you grow a connection with them, so that one day you may need to ask them a favor, you may partner with them. It's a long game, but start playing it now. Now, the other way that you benefit from your network is, and this is the way that actually got me the most progress, was I just looked at all the people that I had been in contact with that had helped me in the past, and I said, there's no way I'm going to let these people down. And there was one gentleman in particular, a guy named Adam Campbell, who worked at Men's Health magazine in America. And he had given me so many opportunities to write for the magazine. And I had written his name down in this notepad, because I would do a lot of thinking exercises and visioning and all that type of stuff. And on the days when I was really depressed, and I would just sit there and go, oh, you know what? I can't let Adam down. I mean, what would Adam think if he saw me sitting here and wallowing in my misery and not taking action? You know, he had given me all this opportunity, and here I am throwing it away. So to me, that type of thing inspires me and motivates me on my bad days. And then the last thing I will say is, and this is kind of connected to it, is I'm a history buff of World War II. For some reason, I am attracted to that time period more than anything else. And so, you know, I've read many, many books on it. And so one thing, I think it gives you great perspective that, okay, we're sitting through 120 days of this so far. Maybe it'll be a stretch out to 12 months. Maybe it'll stretch out to be 18 months of not great times. But I mean, to think back, I mean, you're from, you know, jolly old England. So, I mean, you know, think of what they went through from 1939 through 1945. I mean, rationing and living in fear and this, that, and the other thing. And here, you know, like, I can't handle 120 days. Yeah, I can handle 120 days. But the other aspect of it is, think about the sacrifices that people made, you know, whatever country you're from, the sacrifices that people made to give you the freedom to have this opportunity. And then think about your parents. What sacrifices did your divorced parents make? I mean, I've raised a dog on my own, and like raising a dog on my own is enough to drive you mad sometimes. Like, you know, if the dog can't sleep through the night, you're like, basically you lose your mind. Now imagine a single parent raising a child on their own, raising 2 children, 3 children. And, you know, whatever your parents' situation was, like I told you before, my parents were such hard workers. Like, I'm not going to disrespect the sacrifice that they made and sit around and wallow in self-pity. So yeah, I know it sucks. It's tough. There's difficult decisions to make, but I'm the type of person, I would go out and I would get whatever job I possibly could right now. And in the time that I wasn't working, I would find the next opportunity, because, you know, you go back to when I got that first job at 12. I mean, there's barely been less than 100 days where I haven't worked a full day in my life. So to me, not working, it doesn't sit right with me. So that's what I would say to somebody. And eventually I probably would get to the point where people like, this guy's really angry and mean. I would have to like try and smile a bit, but that's what I would do, because I've been there, I've done that, and I've gotten through it. And I know everybody else will too, because it's really, in the course of history, this is not the worst thing that's ever happened, and other people got through worse.